Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Good morning. You're with us here on a fresh new edition of Trading Hours, 14 minutes late, but welcome and good morning nevertheless. The market is holding up 12 odd points or so. 10,372 is where we're at. The Sensex is up about a quarter percent, 74 points higher, 33,777. The general feeling when you look at the screen is essentially a sense of weakness, a sense that at any point the floor is going to give way and you're going to see another plunge down. And this is it should not be that way, because we've already had such washout days for the last so many sessions that now, around about now, in any correction should be the time that when you're expecting that bounce, but it's just not coming. I mean, what you have is essentially a very weak pattern, the market opening higher and then getting sold into. And that is not the market that you usually have when you're expecting a recovery or a rebound or something of that sort. For now, as I said, it's flat. It's off the lows. It's off the highs. More off the highs than off the lows. But I mean, it's not looking all that great. The mid-cap index especially is the problem child, 0.5% lower there. With me is my colleague Surabhi Upadhyay. Surabhi, morning.
Good morning, Prashant. Completely agree with you, because it's not inspiring any semblance of stability or some sign of sort of strength returning, and it's another day of underperformance. So if you just pull up markets around our neighborhood, many of them now coming back after the Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year holiday, most of those markets have actually done better. Barring the Nikkei, a lot of the other regional markets have been quite nice and buoyant in shades of green today. But looking at our screens, it's sort of still very, very problematic. And the advanced decline ratio is also negative, as Prashant pointed out. It's the mid-cap index, which is feeling the heat today. The advanced decline ratio right now favoring the declines. We've got about 800 stocks advancing and over 1,100 on the declining side. Nifty Bank, let's just pull up that index, because that was the culprit yesterday. Right now, holding closer to the flat line, just about a 30-point up move. Let's see how this plays out. All right, on that note, let's bring in some market opinion. We have Sudarshan Sukhani joining in for a technical perspective on how things stand right now. Good morning, Sudarshan. What's your reading so far and the call on the indices?
Yeah, good morning. See, we have been bearish on the index because the intermediate trend is down. So the trade is to be on the short side of the market. And that the best way to do this trade is to use March options, which is puts in March expiry. Hold on to those puts and expect lower levels to come. Now, for the day, it is difficult to say whether lower levels will come today, the markets will collapse, or we'll see a sudden rally. Anything is possible. Markets are choppy. But over the next few days, running into March, I would expect the Nifty slowly to reach 10,000. So that's the view. Hold on to short positions and do whatever little intraday trading you want to do.
Sudarshan, morning. In terms of stocks, what would you trade?
Well, stocks become a different matter. It's worthwhile in a choppy market to search for strength and buy them. Tech Mahindra is a buying opportunity for the day. Remember, it's for the day. No need to carry it also. And PVR after that big bear market is now inching up. It's showing higher highs, higher lows. So that's a trade we can take on the buy side. Apart from these two trades, there is an easy short sell, that is BEML. BEML has been in a very dismal performance. That continues on the downside, so that's a short. Generally, most PSU banks are selling opportunities on any rally. The decline in them is not over. It's not in my list. It's a general statement.
All right, Sudarshan, thanks very much. We speak with you soon again. Appreciate you joining in right now. That's essentially N. Chandrasekaran, Chairman Tata Sons, completes a year at the helm of Tata Sons today, and he's speaking right now at the UP Investment Summit. Let's listen in for a quick bit.
The breadth and width of the country that you are traveling to ignite growth in every state. Thank you for this opportunity. From a Tata Group point of view, we have a holistic presence in the state of Uttar Pradesh. We have many of our companies here. Tata Motors is here in a big way. TCS has a very large presence in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And there are many companies like Tata Projects, and our retail companies all have very significant presence in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Going forward, we are extremely committed to participate in the growth of Uttar Pradesh across sectors be it agro sector, manufacturing sector, digital and IT sector, or in the social sector, infrastructure sector. All our companies are committed to make Uttar Pradesh a glorious state and achieve your vision, Chief Minister Ji. Specifically, TCS has a very strong presence here, and we are committed to build a new campus for 30,000 people in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Not only that, there has been a lot of questions whether TCS will vacate Lucknow. I want to commit to you, Chief Minister Ji, TCS will continue and will make its presence in Lucknow very strong. TCS is also committed to have a unique opportunity to be present in Varanasi or Punya Bhumi, and we will open ITES center in Varanasi pretty soon. Many of our companies, whether it is Chroma, whether it is Tata Starbucks and Tata Projects, are executing a number of projects all across Uttar Pradesh, and I want to once again offer my commitment on behalf of the group to partner with Yoditinath Ji to take this state to higher heights. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
धन्यवाद। मंच पर आने के लिए अब अनुरोध करूंगी श्रीमती शोभना कामिनेनी।
Okay, N. Chandra there reiterating the commitment of Tata Group at the UP Investor Summit. I mean, as I said earlier before we went to him to listen to him, it's 365 days for Chandra at the helm of Tata Sons. So we are essentially doing, getting you a fair bit of opinion in terms of what's been the highs and lows over the last 1 year with Chandra at the group. So far, I mean, the opinion we've got is all highs and very few lows. But that is special coverage all day today here on CNBC TV 18. I think we've got some F&O strategies as well, Surabhi.
Yes, we do. We have Yogesh Mehta joining in from PCG Advisory Equities, Motilal Oswal. Yogesh, thanks for joining us on the show. So getting closer to expiry, and obviously the market's been going through the motions. What strategies are you working with?
Since tomorrow is the expiry, so the recommendations would be strictly for intraday rather than carrying it over, because markets are very much choppy and trading within the range of 80 to 100 points, and we believe that it will remain in the same range for throughout the day today as well, because it's not breaking yesterday's low also. On the buy side, we are recommending on the IT sector seems to be very strong, and we are recommending two stocks into IT. TCS, it is currently quoting at 3001 in current future segment, and keeping a stop loss of 2975 can be bought with a target of 3040 to 3050 range. Another one is from the IT is Hexaware, quite strong. 330, 335 is the band which has taken support since last few sessions. Today it is 344. Keeping a stop loss of 336, one can project a target of 354 to 355 range. And on the short side, private sector bank, IndusInd Bank shows weakness below 1620. Current price is 1611. Can initiate short here with a stop loss of 1625, and target would be in the range of 1590.
As promised, now let's head across to the commodities universe and figure out what's making headlines over there. Manisha Gupta joining in with a roundup of all the action. Manisha, how is it going?
Well, pretty well, really, if you look at the various prices there. But what I really want to concentrate right now is the PM speech that came in last night about the agri initiative that they are looking to take. And as on expected lines, they have spoken about reducing the cost of production. Well, the PM actually came out with a 4-point agenda. Markets were thinking of a 7-point agenda there. But the doubling of farmers' income by 2022. And he said there are 4 things that they want to take a look at. One, of course, is reducing the cost of production of crops. It is the higher cost of production starting right from labor to seeds to fertilizers, irrigation and machinery that he says will see a decline in prices coming. Also, reducing food wastage is yet another thing. Remember, the pre and the post-harvest facilities in sense of storage, cold storages, warehouses, etc. is something that they have spoken about building up. The third major thing, of course, has been the value addition of food. This is something that the government has been trying to push on for the longest time now. A lot of emphasis was put on by the PM on this one. And then, of course, providing fair returns to customers. A lot of other projects were touched upon as well. One, of course, the irrigation project that has been taken up by the government. He said that 50% of that would be completed by this year end. So as was the expectation that the PM would come out with an agenda, the priorities that need to be covered in, the state and the centre on how they would be working on these things together, and some time-bound projections as well on when and how most of these schemes and projects would be completed. So we did see all of that come in sense of micro-irrigation, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana on what kind of land and farmers and numbers are we looking under that. The agri credit target for 2018 also is now put at a record 11 trillion. So that is a number that the markets, of course, was looking for. And the major thing forward-looking, of course, is that the Agri Ministry with Niti Aayog will now sit on 5th and 6th of March to work out on the MSP formula. Well, this is something that the Prime Minister yet again would be taking a note of after that meeting is done.
Okay, the market is looking under pressure. It's looking a little dicey. 18 points higher, though, 10,377. Ashwini Gujral is with us right now. Ashwini, thanks very much. You know, this constant feeling that at any point the market will give way. Your thoughts on what you're seeing out there?
Well, your feeling is right, and that can happen at any time. The issue here is that now the second leg of the move is starting out on the downside, and now large private banks, Reliance, Maruti, etc., those are the stocks which are getting sold off, and one major player is on the other side, which is the FIIs. So at this point, both Nifty, Bank Nifty can be easily sold into, because they are hanging around the lower end of the range, and generally second half is the time when that sort of selling starts. So for the moment, Sun Pharma is a sell with a stop of 542, target of 520. Reliance Capital is a sell with a stop of 466, target of 440. And PC Jewelers can still be sold with a stop of 360, target of 335.
Okay, Ashwini, just a word on IT, because that's the the lone spot where you're seeing some gain at least. Maybe it's a rupee rub-off as well. I don't know. Overall commentary being a little positive by companies. Anything on IT? Any trades?
See, when a market is under pressure, you need something to balance out the downside. Otherwise, the entire market would have collapsed by now. But I would think a lot of this rally will get given up. So in my sense is that probably the highs of the day on IT may have been made. Do we expect IT index to go from 200 to 400? Unlikely. But do we expect banks to go down to 150, 200 down? That sounds a bit more likely, given that market breadth and strong stocks, etc., are facing heat. I think IT, even if you did participate in the morning, I don't think buying right now is a good idea unless you have bigger plans. As and when this correction ends, I think IT will come out of the blocks before banks and maybe will be a leader for the next rally.
Ashwini, Sun is already, I think the futures are still at about, already at about what, 524 or so. So you're expecting a bigger downside here? I mean, the earlier low was some 420, 425.
See, obviously, this is a large move on Sun Pharma. It's broken its 200-day moving average, taken out, intermediate lows. So my sense is that it could head back towards, possibly 465, 470.
Okay. All right, Ashwini, we'll leave it on that note for now. Thanks very much for joining in. We'll catch up during the course of the day later.